So we're talking a little bit about one of the most core design philosophies for our 5.56 platforms, for the E526 and the U526. I focused very heavily on weight on this design, and I think that that's a lot closer to what most infantrymen or most practical users of rifles need and want. It's a lot closer to what Eugene Stoner originally had in mind, quite honestly. And if you look at the way rifles have been built in the last, let's say, 5 or 10 years, there's a lot of really heavy guns out there. I kind of think the new M7, M8 program for the Army is a good example. Now, I know there's advantages that it probably has, but overall, those are very heavy guns to live with, to carry, and I think it gets away from the lightweight fighting rifle concept that these really should be. And so we prioritize weight in a big way. But we tried to do it in a way where we really weren't sacrificing practical performance. We still wanted a gun that could shoot a tight group, a 1-minute group, or better. And so that's what we built, but I didn't want you guys just to hear it from me. I looked around. We have a lot of veterans at Shadow in general, but there's 2 veteran infantrymen in the booth with us today that are both Shadow employees and have been there for a long time. And I thought maybe we should talk to them about the concept of weight in a fighting rifle. So we'll start with you, Cameron. I mean, give us your philosophy. What's your experience? Like, tell the story. What do you think?
Gotcha. Hello, everybody. My name is Cameron. Before working at Shadow Systems, I was actually in the Marine Corps for about 6 years as an infantryman, carrying a very heavy rifle along with a bunch of other gear. But then I also transitioned into a law enforcement career prior to coming to Shadow and had a rifle in my patrol car. So I've kind of seen the heaviest and also kind of a mid-weight when it came to the carbines that they issued us. And I will say, you know, having a 20-inch gun, an M16A4 specifically, carrying that all day, patrolling, living with it, sleeping with it, it starts to weigh down and you start getting that just tight feeling, just it sucks. Had we had something like this that, to your point, brought in that philosophy of lightweight but still performing,
Yeah.
and then you can still add on some different accessories and still not have something just weighing you down all day and just kind of drain the life out of you.
Yeah.
It's been really great to be a part of that project. So this thing is just, it's awesome. I came here for you guys to see it, and that's kind of where I kind of came in on it. Is just we've been really hammering hard, not just the weight, but also just the performance of it as well.
Yeah, 6.2 pounds. And I think it's important to notice, when you look at the spec sheets on a lot of rifles and it's like 7 or 8 pounds and you're like, oh, that's reasonable. Well, that's before optics or lasers or a full mag or whatever. So, and certainly before a suppressor. And that same philosophy of lightweight was done in the suppressor as well.
I'll say a lot of stuff is getting a lot lighter now. The optics are starting to get a lot lighter. I mean,
yeah.
I think the only thing that hasn't changed weight is batteries.
Yeah.
It's not going to go anywhere.
And so we definitely did that with the U526, which is the one he has here, a 16-inch barrel. But yeah, that's right. Light, light is it's the first thing you notice after a long day with the rifle. It's not the difference between, a half minute and a 1 minute group or something.
And even if you're going just to a range, whether you're renting one or you just want to go to the range and just burn off a couple of mags and you just set it on the table. And I know this from personal experience. My own personal rifle has a heavier can on it, and it's just like, I shoot it, I'm like, I don't want to sit here and carry this all day.
Yeah.
So as soon as we can buy these, I would definitely snatch them.
Yeah. Good. So then we also have Quan here with us, and Quan was in the 82nd Airborne and an infantryman, and he has kind of a funny story about weight in his career too. So go ahead.
Okay, so hey everyone, my name is Quan. I'm with Shadow Systems. I've been with Shadow for about 4.5 years now. But in my past life, I was an Army infantryman, airborne. And funny enough, they put me as a 240 machine gunner, so I spent most of my time as a machine gunner. And when I deployed overseas, I was operating the 50 cal on top of the Humvees. And now that I'm out, having a something light like this, like an 11.5, it's a luxury for me. And then having this type of setup, when I was in service, we were working with M4A1s, and it's just the old school A2 front side with the quad rail, so it's kind of not easy to grip for one, and then not only that, but there's those attachment pieces that make it even thicker.
That's right.
So having this very skinny, and I have small hands, so it's very easy to manipulate. And then just the fact that it's an 11.5, I like short rifles now, like short barrel rifles, and then just so I can mount a suppressor on there, our 6mm suppressor mounted on there, it's still under 6 pounds. So that is very nice for me, for a small guy like me with back problems.
Yeah, right, with back problems from jumping a 240. Yeah, that's right. So, look, I mean, in a practical sense, I believe that this kind of setup is what people really need. It's the level of performance and accuracy that you need for those first several rounds, but it can carry the fight into multiple mags if you need to, and has the reliability that you would expect from a high quality rifle like this. And we're going to talk more about that as well. There's lots of testing and stuff we want to show you. But I do appreciate your input. I think weight's a big deal. You guys live that life as infantrymen, so did I. So I appreciate you joining us to talk about the design philosophy of a lightweight fighting carbine.